Hello guys, my name is Shamli Sharma and we are going with the topic hyperparameter tuning, or we can say hyperparameter optimization. Earlier we have learned the theory part of the hyperparameter tuning, how it works. Now we will go with the code. Here I am using Jupyter Notebook. You can use PyCharm also, which will be comfortable for you. You can choose any of the editor. Now, first of all, I will tell you something like I'm using support vector machine here, SVM, and also I'm working with classification problem here. Now the question is why I'm using support vector classifier, right? So support vector classifier I'm using because it gives us higher accuracy as compared to other classifiers. You can use also other classifiers like random forest classifier or any other classifier which is comfortable for you. But I am using here SVM, right? Now let's continue with our coding part. Here, first of all, I import the pandas. I import pandas as PD, and here is my data set, which is basically for the breast cancer data set. Um, Now here I assign the breast cancer data set in cancer variable, and from here I get the keys of the my data set, which is data, target name, DSSCR, feature name and file name. Now we will extract all the feature into new data frame and our target features into separate data frames. We will make two data frames, right? In which there is a feature names and a target name, right? Now we will want to get the info of our data set. So we will write df.info and get the info of our data set. The Here we can see it is telling about float 64, which is the data type of our data set. You also the range index, which is 569 entries. Sorry, 0 to 568. Uh, Let me tell you, the pandas data frame start from 0. So that's why it is shown from 0 to 564. It also tells about the columns. So from info, we get the whole structure of our data set. Now, if we want to look in our data frame, as my data set is vast, so I need just 5 entries. So we use here head, or you can use describe also to get the data frame, like if I write here feature dot describe. You can use this also, right? So, but we will go with this. Wait, I have not compiled it yet. It is taking time. As it is a huge data, if we write df feature dot describe, it will give us the whole data frame. Wait, I will comment this. Now I will run. This will give us the whole data frame, but this is very vast. I want to work on only 2 or 5 entries. So I will comment this and uncomment this. Now here we get the 5 entries of our data set and 30 columns. Here this means the table is continued, that 1, 2, 3 and so on. These are the 30 columns. Here we can see it is showing that 5 rows and 30 columns. Right. Now we will split our data. To train our model, we have to split our data set into training set and testing test set. So we will import from sklearn model selection import train test split, right? So here we will split our data into 70 into 30 ratio. We will make variables xtrain, xtest, ytrain, ytest, and use train test split method in which we pass the parameters test size, which is 0.30, that is 30% ratio. Sorry. And random state is 101. We can use 0 or 1, anything here. Now what is Rebel, right? Rebel, it is used to change two-dimensional array or multi-dimensional array into a contiguous flattened array, right? It will make your 2D array into a flattened array, and you can use that. If I run this, and now it is executed. Now we will train our model by calling standard SVC function without doing hyperparameter tuning and see its classification and confusion matrix. Now the question is here, what is confusion matrix? Confusion matrix is a tabular summary of the number of correct and incorrect predictions by the classifier. What all the correct and incorrect predictions are summed together and put it in a tabular form, that is called a confusion matrix. Now we will train the model by writing the SVC function. Now here we can fit our trained datasets, that xtrain and ytrain, and print the prediction values for ytest classification here. Now here we can see y-test prediction, y-test and prediction. This will, the model we are using here is SVC, is not trained, right? So we have to train this model without any grid search or random search. This is the normal training model. Now here we can see the accuracy level. This will give us the accuracy level, which is 0.61, which is very poor, right? Now here we can see the precision and recall and F1 score for class 0 is 0 for all. So from here we can say that classifier is always classifying everything in a single class, that is in class 1, right? But our accuracy level here is 0.61, which is very poor. So we use grid search to get the best parameter for our search, right? Now first we will import the grid search from sklearn model selection. Now here we will make a grid in which we use C, gamma and kernel. In theory part I already told you these values, and the default value of kernel is RBF. You can search from sklearn model from Google, right? Now we will put a grid variable and grid search value function, in which we pass the parameter SVC and one thing notice here, SVC is not trained here, and in param grid we will pass these parameters. Refit is true and verbose is 3. And now what is refit? Refit is an estimator using the best found parameter on the whole data set, and its default value is true. It helps us to get the best parameter estimator. And verbose control the verbosity it will give you more and more accurate message. It depends upon 3 1 value. If you get 1, then less message, 2 more, and 3 well more, like this. Now we will train our model by using fit. Fit will help to find the best parameter combination, and the thing which help wait, the thing which help us to increase the our model accuracy, and will allow to find a best parameter combination is used here is grid fit. Wait. I will execute it for you. Now, as this grid search CV will take some of the time more than the random search. Now here we will print the best params and best estimator. If I execute this, here it tells about C value is 10, gamma is 0.01, and kernel RBF is best for our search. Right. Now if we want to classify and want to found the accuracy score for this, we will test our model and classify the prediction values. Now here we will get the accuracy score is 0.95, which is much far better than, where is that? 0.61 without any search. This accuracy is without any search, and this accuracy is after grid search. So you can see the difference. Here the accuracy level is very high. For today, for this video is for grid search, right? And for this video we can see how grid search is performing the give the performance and give the value for everything. Now for next video we will work with random search.